Hello, everyone. This is a message for anybody who would have been sitting public exams this year. But if you are in the lower six, then please don't go away. I've got a message for you coming up later on. This is my second attempt at one of these. I did one earlier this morning, but I look like death. I look rather like someone who'd been in several months of lockdown, or not so much lockdown as locked under a rock. But we're nearly there. We're pretty much at the end of it. And that's really what I'm here to tell you about. I'm sure you've worked that out already. But I know that, like me, like my kids, you're very much looking forward to getting back to school. And whoever thought we'd all be saying that. But at the same time, I'm very much aware that a lot of you have many doubts and uncertainties about what's coming next. And as a result of that, you might be slightly nervous or trepidatious. And that's entirely reasonable. That's entirely fair, not least given what you've gone through. And, I haven't had much to say about that recently. And there's a very simple reason for that. And that's that I knew no more about this than you did. And unlike some institutions that I could mention, but I won't, we're not in the habit of going out and making bold statements that later we have to retract. And so rather than give you false hope, rather than say something that we knew to be not necessarily the case, we've decided to hold our fire. Anyway, while there remains an awful lot that we don't know, I think we're now at a stage where we can tell you what we do know and how we think that the next few months are going to play out. Now, there's still an awful lot that we don't know for certain. We're awaiting further guidance from the government on all sorts of things. But even so, I think we've got a pretty good handle on events of the next few months. Now, to a certain extent here, I feel a little bit like John the Baptist in that I'm not the one. I'm rather here to tell you about the one that's coming. And the one that's coming is Dr. Potter. And Dr. Potter will be going out later on this afternoon with another video aimed at you and at your parents, going into the doings in a lot more detail and giving you a lot more flesh on the bones that I'm going to give you right now. But really what I just want to do is to say hello, say well done for making it to this point. And also, I think, to just give you a headline on what's coming up. And again, this is not the full answer. I think Dr. Potter will be giving you much more details as we go through into the second video of the day. But this is my spiel, and this is my opportunity to speak to you and to tell you how I see things going and basically what we've been up to so far. So, as I mentioned, there are things we know, there are things we don't know, knowns and unknowns. And I think certainly the single most important for me is that I know that you've got this. You people have been extraordinary. What you've been through over the last months is well, to say it's unprecedented is cliched now. It's trite, but let's just look at what you have been through. You went through lockdown 1. That was nuts. Then we came out, and then we went back in again, and then we broke again, and we're at this point now. So it's been crazy, that, but you've got through this. We've got through this. The end is now in sight. We can see what did Boris call it? The crocus of the first crocuses of spring, the light at the end of the tunnel. Whatever you want to say. You've got this. You've been through it. You've done all of the hard work. The hard work has got you to this point. So well done. I mean, nobody has ever gone through anything like what you've gone before. And even when the upper sixth and the fifth form last year were going through a really tough time, I was thinking, yeah, this is grim. But what about the kids who are going to be doing this next year? And I knew it was going to be bad then. I didn't know quite how bad it was going to be. But you've got through it. You've done it. Well done. Can't tell you how impressed I am that you've all got to this point. So what's going to happen next is, I'm sure the school's going to calculate your grade. As far as we're aware, there's not going to be any government sorting hat that we're going to have to put out or magic algorithm that's going to make a total mess of things. Instead, we're going to determine your grades, and we're going to do that through a combination of data points. And the single most important set of data points are going to be what we're calling mini assessments, and they're going to happen in the summer term. Okay, so your future is in front of you. That's what I want to get across to you now. All of the work you've done has always been preparing for exams in the summer term. Now, we're not going to give you exams because that would just be wrong, and the government's told us not to. But you still need to be assessed. We don't know exactly how the boards want us to process this data. More guidance is coming on that. But we are going to run a program of assessments. And we're going to have a combination of those. We're going to have some APG style assessments. They're going to be probably coming towards the end of this term. So we get back a couple of tests, one per teacher. Okay, that's all it's going to be. One APG style assessment per teacher. So 2 per subjects in the upper 6, 1 in the low, and 1 in the 5th form. So that's coming up. But the most important things, the way in which you are going to shine is in the mini assessments. These are exam style questions marked to exam standards, and we're going to be taking them in the summer term, in the run up to half term. I'll explain exactly how the calendar is going to work in a minute, but we're looking at 2 or 3 weeks of really intense, focused performance. You've been building up to this all the way through. This is what you've been preparing for. This is what you're ready for. This is what you're good at. We're going to test you the way you've been prepared. It's, you know, it would be wrong not to do that. It'd be rather like having MasterChef or what's a Bake Off, and then when you get into the final, you suddenly say, okay, we're not going to do it with kicks, we're going to do this through full contact kumite, and everyone piles in. That would just be insane. So what we're doing instead is we are going to test you the way you've been prepared for testing, the way that's going to bring the best out of you, and we're going to give you every opportunity to shine in these mini assessments. And of course, if you've got coursework and practical work, that's going to continue. We're going to weight that in your final grade as it would have been if exams had gone the normal way. So keep working on your coursework and practical work. That is going to count. And again, that's somewhere where you are in control. All of that said, this is not the same as trial by exam, okay? Everything is going to be a mini test, more like a classroom test than an exam. We're not going to subject you to any 3-hour ordeal, okay? I think what we've said is, I think the maximum is 2 hours, but even then, I don't think many subjects are going to be going that far. You're not going to be held in the Drayson for 3 hours at a time, okay? You may be in the Drayson, all right? But that is really just the scheduling and logistic thing. Most of these things are going to happen off timetable in classrooms, and it's going to be relaxed but not casual is probably the way. These are going to be assessments. We're going to take them very, very seriously because these are your future. And these are your opportunity to show us just how good you are. And as a result of which, we're very excited about this. I think this is a really, really good way of working. Now, as I say, these mini assessments are your chance to shine. You've been preparing for these for years, all right? This is the best way for you to get the grades that you want, the grades that you need to get you into university. But the nature of the beast is that we also get to include coursework, of course, but we have the opportunity here to bring in insurance. We know that lockdown has been different for everybody, okay? We know that some people have really struggled in lockdown, either personally or with their family situation. It has been hard. And so where things go wrong in the mini assessments, you have the opportunity to go back and look at the historical record and say, okay, things went a bit sideways in the mini assessments, but look at this. And what is this? Well, what's this is your historical mock exams, maybe some APG, sorry about the typo, APG progress tests in the course of the year. But we'll only look at those. We will only look at those. We'll only bring those into play if it's going to strengthen your overall grade, okay? The mini assessments are going to be what this is all about. But if the mini assessments don't go as well as your previous work has gone, then there is the opportunity for us to bring in this historical data, the insurance data, to compensate for any underperformance in those mini assessments. This is working to your advantage, okay? This is definitely going to be your way to shine. Now, we don't know exactly how many data points we're going to use, okay? We have to strike a balance between the stuff that's behind you and the stuff that's in front of you. And given that you've been preparing for this, obviously we're going to expect that stuff for your future to be in front of you. That's where the real value is going to be. We also have to be fair, but we also want to give you that opportunity to improve your position, to present yourself in the very best light. And from that, we don't quite know yet how we're going to weight all those data points. We can't obviously give an APG test that you sat last term the same weight as a mini assessment that we're going to give you in the summer term. But all of these things will balance out to enable you to present yourself in the best possible light and to present a result that is fair, that strikes a balance between the ordeal you've all been through and what we need you to show us in these mini assessments. So on balance, it looks all like this. And this is where I think a little word to the lower sixth. I know you guys want to know when your mock exams are going to be. We want to know when your mock exams are going to be. And as soon as we know, we will let you know. But that's not going to happen until we process those things that we don't know, 1, 2, and 3 there. How the boards want us to process the data, the number of data points, and the weighting of data points. What we've got, once we've got all of those sorted out, then we'll be able to tell the lower sixth when your exams are, and we'll be able to start giving the upper sixth and the fifth form a detailed timetable for the summer term. So the single most important thing to get across here is that your grades at a fundamental level, they are our grades. We need to make sure that we allow you to present yourself in the best possible light, because of course that's going to reflect well on us. Okay, there are many, many more details to follow. We need to get all of this thrashed out, but critical points, all right? We don't know the number and the weighting of the data points. Our grades are your grades. We want you to present the best possible argument for all your grades, and you guys have got this. You've done all of the hard work. The hard work has been getting to this point. We're all going to be back at school. How wonderful is that going to be, seeing other people for the first time in what feels like months? We're going to be back at school. We're going to be back in our natural environment, and we're going to be doing what we came here to do. So what now? Okay, this is a highly provisional timetable, okay? Everything is subject to change, so don't hold me to this. However, we'll be back at school on Monday. Goddess fortune be praised. Before the end of that term, we're going to have these small-scale APG-style tests, and not more than 1 per teacher. So that's 2 per subject in the 6th form, 1 per subject in the 5th form. Come back into the summer term, we're going to have 3 hard weeks of teaching. This is academic boot camp. This is getting you to the peak of academic, physical, and intellectual condition, so you can go into these mini assessment periods and show us exactly what you've got. That's all going to be off timetable. You're going to be on this sort of extended study leave, and that will all be done by the 9th of June. 9th of June, your work is done. Shifts over to us. We get the marking done. We get the moderation done. We do all of the checks that we need to do to ensure that your data is absolutely sound. One thing that I haven't included there, but I should have done, is that we want to take this business light. We want you to be happy with what we've done. We want you to be happy with what you've done. And so we will get you to sign a declaration at that point saying, yeah, I'm done. I'm happy. I've given this my best shot. It's over to the markers now. Okay? But we'll worry about all of that later. You do your thing and we will do ours. You keep working. Again, I keep coming back to this. These mini assessments, that's your chance to shine. If you do that, you find the historical evidence, you get the mocks, the tests that we can use as insurance, that's going to be a good thing. We will confirm the assessment timetable, the number of the data points we're going to use, and the weighting of those data points. That's our job. Let us get on with that, okay? We're going to do that. You do your work. We do ours, and we will meet in the right place at the right time, and you will absolutely smash it. Right. So there we go. You've done your work. It's the 9th of June. What happens now? Well, normally you'd be off to Ayia Napa, Magaluf, whatever it is. Obviously, this year that isn't the option. And more importantly, you haven't really had a Stowe summer. Last year, you were stuck at home. The year before that, I'm speaking here to the upper sixth, you were in the, you were doing your GCSEs. And so for those of you in the upper sixth, the last time you got to experience the fun and games of the summer at Stowe, we're looking at 2018. Some of you have never had a summer at Stowe. Anybody who joined recently, who joined in the lower sixth or who joined in the 4th form, you haven't had a summer at Stowe. So what I want you to do now is just visualize what you want that summer at Stowe to look like. What for you the summer at Stowe mean? Everyone's going to have their own version of this particular nirvana. Mine looks a little bit like this. And yes, Reese, let's imagine that that's you there about to spank that ball straight back over the bowler's head, possibly over the sight screen, possibly over George III to land on that beautiful lawn there. For me, Stowe in the summer, lots of cricket, lots of lovely walks around the grounds, lots of tennis, going down watching the rowing, whatever it is. This is what the summer term means for me. You'll have your own version. But the summer term this time is going to be about giving and taking, okay? So you've done all of your work. You've got yourself to the 9th of June. What happens next? Right. Well, we want to give you a head start. We want to give the upper sixth the same Enabling Futures program that we gave to the upper sixth last year. And the fifth form, we'd like to give you the same introduction to A levels that the lower sixth enjoyed last term. We want you to get a head start. We want you to get a step ahead. So whether it's life, the university and everything for the upper sixth, or your preferred subject choices for the fifth form, we want you to get ahead of the game so that when we come back in September, or when upper sixth, you go off September, October, you hit that ground running and you get the maximum return on those first few weeks of your new working environment. How exciting is that going to be? We also want you to do sport, lots and lots of sport. We've got cricket bats and cricket pads and cricket balls that have been sitting lonely and neglected for over a year. We've got tennis rackets that have been much the same. We've got staff who have been even more neglected. They live for this sort of thing. So what we're looking at is lots and lots and lots of sport. But if sport isn't your thing, then the gardens, the beautiful working environment we've got, the extraordinary place that people drive hundreds of miles to come and see, that's what we call work. That's our office. But maybe we get a chance to explore it in a little more detail in the summer. And it's just going to be a wonderful thing. If you haven't experienced Stowe at the height of the summer, there really is nowhere quite like it, apart from maybe Blenheim. But it is just the most extraordinary place. And then on top of that, we've got all of the arts. We've got the music, we've got the art department, we've got drama, everything's going on. And this is your opportunity to drink life to the least. I have absolutely no doubt that you'll want to stay. We want you to stay. We want you to enjoy your summer at Stowe. You've earned it. That is certainly true. You have earned it. However, we'd like something back for that. We would like something back for that, and not just for our own selfish gain, but also for you to have something constructive to do, okay? And what we'd like from the upper six, we'd like your help. I talked earlier about the pre-A level for the fifth form. Who's better placed to deliver that than the upper sixth? You've got very fresh memories of what it was like starting these courses. So you can help us explain to the fifth form what's ahead of them. You can tell them things that you wish somebody had told you as you were starting this course, as long as it's don't. But anyway, we'll worry about that later. You guys are ideally positioned to help our fifth form get that head start that they're so going to appreciate as they go into the sixth form. No one's better placed than you to do that. And everybody, upper sixth and fifth form, there's so many opportunities for you to get involved around this incredible community we've got. Stowe House and Gardens, they look pretty amazing, but there's an awful lot of work to do and not many hands to do it because many people are still furloughed. And after the extended furlough, these people are looking for help. They're crying out for help. So there's going to be all sorts of opportunity for you to get involved there and help around Stowe House and indeed in the gardens if that's your sort of thing. If it's not, we've got our two partner prep schools, and they're very, very keen to explore opportunities for you guys going into the summer term. No one's ever turned down slave labor before, but this is an opportunity for you to find out what it means to work in education. And some of you are thinking about taking a gap year and working in a prep school. I know there's a couple of Stoics at the moment working in prep schools, and they're absolutely loving it. This would be a great opportunity for you to go down, give something back to the education system, see what it's like to work with young kids. It's incredibly rewarding. The questions they ask absolutely blow your mind, but give something back, okay? And what we're going to try to do, details TBC, is to come up with some sort of special service award just to give you that extra bit of focus as we go into this period, because focus is always a good thing, plans is always a good thing, and targets are even better. So that is all out there in front of you, and I think it's very, very exciting indeed. Now, a quick word on Newcast. So fifth form, you don't need to hear this bit, but very, very simple. Conservatoires, there's your deadline. Unis, those are your deadlines. I very much anticipate that all of those offers will be in by the 20th of May. I think almost everybody now has got at least one offer. St Andrews is still being incredibly slow. Edinburgh is still being incredibly slow. If you haven't heard from them, don't worry. Each university moves at its own pace. Edinburgh and St Andrews in particular are waiting to find out how the government suggests they rebalance all of the EU students they were expecting. So there's all sorts of administrative things going on there. If you haven't heard from your university, don't worry, okay? They don't have to reply to you for another month at least. Hopefully they will reply to you before then, but don't panic. Everything is as close to normal as we can be under these circumstances. What is not normal is this. I strongly suspect that universities will take a very hard line on the offers they have made. That means that if your offer is AAB and you come in with ABB, you shouldn't expect the university to accommodate your offer. You can't expect universities to shrug their shoulders and say, yeah, come on in, because they're going to be oversubscribed, okay? In the past, AAB, and you returned ABB, chances are the university would go, yeah, whatever, come in. That's not going to happen this time, or rather, we can't rely on it happening this time. So when you're looking at the offers that you've got from the universities, you have to be very, very hard and realistic on yourself. What do you think you're going to get? Now, again, the mini assessments in the summer, that's your chance to shine for sure, but it's the natural way of things that some shine brighter than others. So when you're looking at your offers, think, if I miss this offer, if I miss my primary offer, I will probably be going to my insurance. Universities are not going to be falling over themselves to extend offers or to welcome students who missed their offers. And so, yes, you might very, very want to go, may very well want to go to the university that offers you AAB. But if in reality you're heading to BBB and you put them down as your first choice, you're probably not going there. Okay. So just be realistic about your choices. Be ambitious, yes, but be sensible, because if you're not going to get those grades, you're probably not going to go to that university. They're not going to be falling over themselves to welcome people who have not hit the grade boundaries that they've established. Yes, it used to happen in the past, but now they are heavily oversubscribed, and they will be looking where possible to keep their numbers under control. If anybody's got any concerns or queries about this, come and talk to me, particularly if you had enabling grades, because those enabling grades, remember we said we're going to do the countdown solution, 2 from the top, 1 from the middle, 2 from the bottom, or 2 from the top, 2 from the middle, 1 from the bottom. You now have to decide which trajectory you are on. Again, you don't need to decide just yet. The first deadline there is the 10th of May, but this is definitely something you should be thinking about. Okay. We're nearly there, okay? We're nearly there. We've nearly got all of the information that we need. We've nearly got all the plans in place, but not quite yet. We've still got a couple of things just to finalize. So please be patient, and we will get there very, very soon. You've got this, okay? So have we. You've got what you've got to do. We've got what we've got to do, and we're all going to do it together. We've got to this point, and I know that all of the hard work that you've done is going to come to fruition in those mini assessments, because you've earned it and you very much deserved it. That's probably way long enough. I'm going to wind up there. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday. It's very, very exciting to come out of this place. No more broadcasting from the spare room. I can live with that. I want to get back into those classes. I want to see you guys, and I want to do this. And you've got to want to do it as well. Let's get on it. See you on Monday. Take care now.